Biker TV is brought to you by Parts Canada and Drag Specialties. We support the sport. Metzler ME880 Marathon, what Biker TV rides on. The Deeley Motorcycle Exhibition, Vancouver, BC. Welcome to Biker TV. By bikers, for bikers. This week on Biker TV, the Drag Specialties Weekly Race Report with Jordan Szoke. Kick Butt CMDRA drag racing in Ashcroft, BC. But first, we're back at the Trev Deeley Motorcycle Exhibition with Terry Ray.
We have an engine display down here, which are on Lazy Susans. You can actually sit and you could rotate the engine and see how everything all went together in 1926. This is the JD model 74 cubic inch. And you can see the unique carburetor system on here, whereas the intake manifold is actually screwed to the heads by a flange, like a pipe fitting. This is the 1954 model. This was when Japanese were making Harley-Davidsons, and it's a Rikuyu. And if you notice, it's very rare because it still has the Japanese markings on the case. And it looks very similar to the 45 cubic inch engines that we have today. Now we have the 1932 Harley-Davidson 45 inch. It's come out of an RL. And again, on the Lazy Susan, you can still rotate it and look and see how the carburation setup is over here. Like it was on the JD, it's actually screwed into the heads over here with a pipe fitting. In 1948, Harley decided to change the configuration of their engines again, and they made what they called the panhead. So called because the valve covers were actually shaped like bread pans. And if you had to do any work at the side of the road, you could take the heads, the valve covers off, turn them upside down and use them to hold your parts while you're busy working on your bike. And it's still one of the more popular bikes today, along with the Knuckle. So now we have a 1983. This is a shovel head. This would have been the last year of the shovel. The configuration, the heads looked like a shovel. It would have been the last year of production for most of the models, although in 1984 some of the FLHs did finish off the round of production with a shovel head engine. We have the Evolution engine, which is called the blockhead for the want of a better name because the heads on it are very square, and it's actually a cutaway, and you can actually sit and spin the clutch and the starter gear and actually get the pistons to go up and down and see how the valves open and closed. It's very unique. We find a lot of schools that come down here for tours. They spend a lot of time around this engine, seeing how it operated. So now we have our Buell race bike. It was an S1 Lightning right off the showroom floor. It was actually one of our demonstrators, and Trev was nice enough to let us build this up to take down to Bonneville to run in the salt flats in the 1350 production pushrod class. Now Peter Sellers was the mechanic on it, and Shane Keneally actually rode it. My job was to make sure the thing got there in the truck and trailer. The old record was 144 miles an hour, and we brought it up to 150 miles an hour, .023. Believe it or not, this is basically a stock S1 Lightning. Buell was going a long time before this. Some of the original Buells back in the 80s had full fairings on them, which would have made them even more streamlined than this. And even the Buell engineers weren't sure if we could even get close to 150 miles an hour because of the configuration of the little fairing. Gladly, we proved them wrong.
After the break, the weekly race report with Jordan Szoke.
It's the #1 training facility for motorcycle mechanics in Canada. The course here is amazing. The teachers are amazing. This is where it's at.
Dragon Jeans, what Bikertv rides in.
Trucker Television, Canada's hottest new show.
My grandpa's a trucker. He helps feed kids like me.
Canada's hottest new show, Trucker Television.
Choose one of our existing audio kits or design your own at hogtunes.com. Hogtunes, audio solutions for the great American cruiser.
Why pay more? Check us out. Royal Distributing, Canada's power sports leader. We have parts, accessories, and lots more for all makes of cruisers, V-twin and metric. Canada's largest selection of helmets and clothing. Shop our website, shop by phone, or visit any one of our huge superstores. Why pay more? Check us out. Royal Distributing, Canada's power sports leader.
Special thanks to Royal Distributing, clothing, parts, and accessories. Toad Cycle Works, doing it right since 1979. G. Bork, give us a call. Trucker Television, celebrating life on the road. Advanced Screen Printing, t-shirts, and a whole lot more.
The Bikertv National Show and Shine. West, Sturgis North. East, Thunder in the Highlands. Central, the Bikers Reunion. The Bikertv National Show and Shine.
Closed captioning by Hogtunes, audio solutions for the great American cruiser.
Speed doesn't lie. Going 200 miles an hour around a track and then having to brake and make a corner, it's very, very exciting. I'm Jordan Szoke, and it's time for your weekly race report on Bikertv. This week we're talking about flat track and what we're all going to be one day, vintage. We're going to talk about some of the vintage guys, how I've been a part of that a very long time. But first, let's get to the flat track series. Obviously, this year's champion, Don Taylor, awesome rider, very talented guy. I've spent a lot of time with these flat track guys on the ice over the years. I've learned a lot chasing them around. We've had a lot of fun together. They're used to riding close. I was just out last week with Doug Beatty, who's a past champion in flat track. Steve Beatty, legendary flat track rider. Him and I actually came together on the ice this year. He tipped over, broke his collarbone. Sorry, Steve. And yeah, all a great bunch of ice riders. Flat tracking is very cool, very exciting. It's probably one of the most cost-effective ways to go motorcycle racing. It's just very cool for the fans. You get to see the whole track at once. They basically race around a horse track. You can sit there and see everything happen, all the action in front of you, almost like a NASCAR race. there's always some exciting spills and great passes. So flat track, very talented bunch of guys, very competitive. Obviously, got to plug the guys out there to keep the sport alive. We have the Wellington County Motorcycle Club, we have the Leamington guys, keeping these guys safe and competitive and the racing spirit alive. My hat's off to them out there. Get out, support them, check it out. It's cheap to watch and it's exciting. Check it out. Here we are talking about the VRA, Vintage Road Racing Association. These guys are older than dirt. I've known them all my whole life. That's where I started. Believe it or not, my first big bike race, other than being on a little YSR 50s and stuff like that, was a 450 Honda. Vintage racing, you gotta learn somewhere. And it's also very affordable and a lot of fun. Vintage guys are very hospitable and it's just a giant family atmosphere. Doesn't have the pressure that the modern racing has. Don't kid yourself, these guys are fast and they still want to win, but the atmosphere is much more laid back, and they go to all the great tracks around just like we do. They're at Mosport and it's just awesome. My dad's raced vintage, racing for a long time. I've been a part of it. The guys there, Peter Shepard, keeping it alive. Believe it or not, the first superbike I competed on in the modern era is now eligible for a vintage class. So there's a wide variety of classes you can ride. Too many to go through. Chances are if you have a motorcycle at home and it's not brand new, you'll be able to race it there, and it's a lot of fun and cheap to do. So for those of you at home that think motocross is just motocross and you have to put your bike away at the end of the year, I got some good news for you. What I do in the winter for my training is ice riding and ice racing. It's been around forever. It was one of the first things I ever did on a motorcycle was ice race, and it's the perfect training for any sport of motorsports, because when you go out on the ice and you learn how to slide a motorcycle around, and it gives you such a great control over what's happening when you go back into the dirt, back into the pavement. We're seeing more motocross guys come out in the winter with us and train. It's not about just hitting the triple or pinning it through the whoops. There's corners out there too that you have to fly through, and it really teaches you that. Here we do, myself and all my friends, we do left and right, full road course ice racing. Back in the day it used to be only oval like the flat track, but we do left and rights, and go out there and use your imagination in the ice and plow off the snow in any way you want, any shape of track you want, and it's a great deal of fun. I've also been out west with my motocross bike in the winter and put tracks on it and rode it like a snowmobile in the mountains. So you get a lot more use of a motocross bike nowadays, and you don't have to put it away for the winter.
After the break, killer drag racing in the desert. Special thanks to Royal Distributing, clothing, parts, and accessories. Hip Cycle, expert Harley-Davidson service. Hog Haulers, don't leave home without your chrome. Creative Chaos Tattoo, not for the weak of heart. Dino Tunes, Motorcycle Tuning Center.
Trucker Television, Canada's hottest new show.
My grandpa's a trucker. He helps beat kids like me.
Canada's hottest new show, Trucker Television.
Advanced welding techniques, training for success. Come see our new virtual training lab at advancedwelding.ca.
Choose one of our existing audio kits or design your own at hogtunes.com. Hogtunes, audio solutions for the great American cruiser.
Special thanks to Royal Distributing, clothing, parts, and accessories. New Moon Tattoo, professional tattooing for over 25 years. The Ottawa Mission, more than a shelter. Chelsea Chimney Sweeps, sales, service, and installation. Road Dog Asphalt, honest, reliable service.
So what makes a grown man want to race a drag bike?
Midlife crisis! This is my brother. He's having a midlife crisis.
You betcha.
And he's got the money to have it. It's all good.
So just wanted to have some fun. Turned 40 and it was time for some fun
So never any fun before for it?
Oh, I've had some fun before, but usually I didn't have nothing to show for it at the end of the day.
Yeah, this is good, clean fun.
Qualified third on both bikes, I believe. I race super bike and street bike. We're ready to go now. Qualifying's done and it's time to put it all together.
Just started getting into racing here in the last couple of years, and Frank Wall is the guy that owns these bikes. I just get to ride them, and it's just, yeah.
You get to fix them and break them too?
I get to break them and help fix them, yes. And this is our modified bike. This bike was running awesome this weekend. We're going to go to the finals with it.
What kind of numbers are you pulling?
I did a 9.3 with it this weekend.
So far it's turned out extremely good. I was first in Western Canada coming into this here race, and I just started this year. Started in Edmonton and took second, and then went to Prince George and took first in the Harley Destroyer Series. So just qualified and heading to the semifinals here in Ashcroft. So things are continuing to roll my way this year.
Well, I got a little lucky on that one, I guess. My opponent had dialed in at 961 and ran way over at a 937, so he had a breakout run. I had to look at 1,000 feet, and usually he's coming up on me, and he was right beside me already. And I ran bang on the dial, 1035 on the 1035, and got him on the light. So we were safe on that one, thank you.
Three Musketeers at Ashcroft.
Three Musketeers.
Yeah, rode in from Kamloops.
Watching some drag races. I took the weekend off from work to actually drag race, but eliminations
took their toll. I'm out. It's still fun. Nitro bikes to come. Medicine hats next.
So you'd like do the circuit, sort of?
Yeah, fingers crossed. I haven't made all of them, but most of the bikes will be there in Medicine Hat. Lots more spectators, actually. Alberta is a pretty popular place for drag racing.
Kick butt CMDRA drag racing in Ashcroft, BC.
Why pay more? Check us out. Royal Distributing, Canada's power sports leader. We have parts, accessories, and lots more for all makes of cruisers, V-twin, and metric. Canada's largest selection of helmets and clothing. Shop our website, shop by phone, or visit any one of our huge superstores. Why pay more? Check us out. Royal Distributing, Canada's power sports leader.
Special thanks to Royal Distributing, clothing, parts, and accessories. Askicker Custom Cycles, parts, sales, service. McNeely and McNeely, legal services for accident victims. BCOM, fighting for bikers' rights. Chrome Dreams.
It's the #1 training facility for motorcycle mechanics in Canada. The course here is amazing. The teachers are amazing. This is where it's at.
Dragon Jeans, what Bikertv rides in.
Trucker Television, Canada's hottest new show.
My grandpa's a trucker. He helps beat kids like me.
Canada's hottest new show, Trucker Television.
Choose one of our existing audio kits or design your own at hogtunes.com. Hogtunes, audio solutions for the great American cruiser.
Special thanks to Royal Distributing, clothing, parts, and accessories. Hip Cycle, expert Harley-Davidson service. Hog Haulers, don't leave home without your chrome. Creative Chaos Tattoo, not for the weak of heart. Dino Tunes, motorcycle tuning center.
The Bikertv National Show and Shine. West, Sturgis North. East, Thunder in the Highlands. Central, the Bikers Reunion. The Bikertv National Show and Shine.
Well, Greg unfortunately is out first round. We got a little teething problems with the super bike. It's not shifting correctly. And on the Pro Mod bike, I think we actually heard it again. We might have both bent a valve. It didn't sound right in the burnout box, which you got some film out there. And we had enough sense to shut it down. When it don't sound right, there ain't no sense in pushing the issue.
I've been racing 25 years. I started off motocrossing. I did some road racing for 13 years, and then I started drag racing. I've been drag racing since 2001.
Okay.
It's just in your blood, I guess.
So it's not something that
Just gotta do it.
Yeah, actually this last week we were at Sturgis North at the fairgrounds, and we were on display there to promote this weekend of racing at Ashcroft here, as well as the Ride for Life that took place yesterday morning. And we ended up at Sicamous doing the burnout contest, which was a fabulous turnout, and if there was any place to be, that was a place to be on Friday. And then we ended up here for the race this weekend.
So far, he's got me into the semifinals. He's did some changes on my bike this morning and got things rolling, and it's been extremely well having him. I appreciate it to the max.
Oh, yeah, family affair. Very good. And yourself?
I'm with him.
Very good. Having fun?
Oh, yeah.
Well, when you've had a good weekend and things are working good, maintenance is pretty easy. It's a matter of checking things over, switching a tire if it's wore out, and doing some minor adjustments. But usually if you heard something, it's a lot of thrashing during the week at the shop.
all the rain that we've had back home, this has been like a big holiday with the sunshine and the warmth and the tremendous hospitality of the people that put the track on here so that we could race.
Next week on Biker TV, we're at the GPRC for Tech Tips with Wally. Atlantic Canada's 5-day motorcycle festival, Atlanticade. The Canadian Badlands, the St. Victor Boogie. Be on Biker TV. Cape Breton Bike Fest, Sydney, Nova Scotia. At Sturgis North. The Bikers Reunion, New Liskeard, Ontario.
We should have met years ago when we were younger. Live life from a storybook to fill virtue's hunger. Running wild and living free, riding high on that carousel. So my love could grow for you by the sea at Cap.